Hello again. Today I want to present our new cement blocks kit for small constructions. This is the box it all comes in, and on the back you will find several suggestions for building your shelter or casemate. Here you have some instructions on the side, and here are a few examples of how to apply weathering and the various pieces that are included in the box. Inside the box are these sprues, on which you can see these cement blocks with 2 holes, a few others with just 1 hole, and the roof pieces. There are 3 sprues in total, with everything you need to be creative. Here you can see all the pieces separated from the sprues. In total there are 330 of these blocks with 2 holes. That's how big they are, you can see that clearly. There are 6 panels which you can use to create the cover or roof. And here are the smaller blocks with just 1 hole. So I'm going to start building this example based on the instructions by counting how many bricks wide and how many bricks high it is. Let's get to it. So I counted the bricks, and this is the base for all the walls. As you can see, it's all fitting together perfectly. When you're assembling structures like this, I recommend using this type of glue because it takes a little longer to dry. So bit by bit my walls are getting higher. You can see that the block placement looks great, very realistic. And here I've started to leave a hole for what will become the window eventually. You should try and place the blocks irregularly, so you get this sort of effect, right? As if they were all put down in a rush. And now I will need to scratch build a door and a window before finally adding the roof, which will go on the top like this. So I finished building my shelter, as you can see. It's looking good. And I've used a number of things for the scratch building. For example, to make the window here, the lintel above the window, the roof inclination to ensure rainwater runoff, the door here, another lintel above the door, and on the top I added some screws holding down the roof. So the piece is ready for painting now. Because all the blocks are made from concrete or cement, I'm going to need some grey for the painting. I've chosen this set here for precisely that reason, because it comes with several different shades of grey. So I've applied the base colours already, for which I used this dark sea grey on the roof and lower section. And I used this sky grey for the rest. The next step will be to apply some texture and to change the colour of some of the blocks in my structure. I've used a yellow for the door and a touch of orange for the shading. Now at the bottom of each block, using a pencil, just on the bottom of each block, I want to create this texture. This is the final look of all the blocks now that I've added some texture using that graphite pencil. To add some texture to the door, I'm using a sponge with yellow paint to create this effect. And after using that same technique but with a little chocolate chipping brown, I'm going to finish off the weathering on the door using a pencil. I used the same technique again with the sponge to create different textures on the roof using some other colours. So that's all the painting work done now on my shelter. I think it's looking great. I've painted a letter here to add some originality to my construction on the front and the back. And as you can see, I added some weathering at the bottom with an earth colour using my airbrush. Now I'm going to add the terrain texture to the base I've used. You can see here how that product looks after it's dried. Now I'm going to create some vegetation to put around my shelter. For that I'm going to use these dry tufts, these small ones here and these larger ones, as well as some loose leaves. And this, my friends, is the final result after adding all that vegetation. This piece can be used in numerous ways. It's fun to make and offers countless options in terms of finishes, weathering choices, and even the shape itself. I hope you enjoyed this video and make sure to stay tuned for more.